Have you ever left a conversation feeling small, like your words didn't matter, or your time wasn't respected? Maybe you agreed to something you didn't want to do. Or someone crossed a line, and you just smiled, hoping it'd go away. Here's the hard truth: people don't always treat you the way you deserve. They treat you the way you allow them to. Let's be honest, most of us weren't taught boundaries. We were taught to be liked, to be helpful, to avoid conflict. We were told to be the bigger person, even when it made us feel smaller inside. But the problem is, every time you silence yourself to keep the peace, you're teaching the other person that your comfort doesn't matter, that they can take, and you'll stay quiet. And that's where things begin to fracture, not loudly, but quietly. Internally, you begin to feel disrespected, overlooked, and exhausted. Think about this: why do people start over-explaining, over-justifying, or always saying yes? Because they're afraid that the moment they say no, they'll lose connection. They'll be judged. They'll be abandoned. But from a Stoic lens, this is where your power is either lost, or reclaimed. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If you keep thinking, "If I don't do this, they'll get mad," then your life becomes ruled by fear, not by truth. You begin to shapeshift for others. And every time you do, you fade a little more. Let me tell you a real-world story. There was a woman, smart, warm-hearted, always the go-to at her workplace. She stayed late, picked up slack, smiled through stress. Everyone loved her. But no one protected her. Why? Because she never showed them how. She eventually burned out, quietly, bitterly, and left. The kicker? Her boss said, "We thought you were okay with it. You never said no." See how it happens? Silence doesn't earn you respect. It earns you assumptions. And assumptions become expectations. Teaching people how to treat you doesn't start with confrontation. It starts with clarity. It's about learning how to say, "This is what I'm okay with. And this is what I'm not." It might be uncomfortable. It might even disappoint someone. But it's better to disappoint others occasionally than to betray yourself consistently. Let's take relationships. Ever been in a friendship or relationship where you always make the effort but it's never mutual? You always reach out, always make the plans, always forgive first. At some point, you're not giving. You're leaking. And they've grown used to it, not out of cruelty, but out of habit. You've shown them the pattern. And they followed it. When you finally set a boundary, they might get upset. They might say, "You've changed." But you haven't changed, you just stopped shrinking. The Stoics teach that our peace comes not from controlling others but from controlling ourselves. So, when you draw a boundary, do it calmly. Not with rage. Not with guilt. With grace. Say, "I can't do that right now." Or, "I'm not comfortable with that topic." Or simply, "No." You don't need to justify or over-explain. No is a complete sentence. And self-respect never requires a sales pitch. Now here's the beauty of boundaries. They don't just protect you. They attract the right people. Because people who love you, for you, will honor your limits. They won't guilt you for needing space. They won't punish you for being honest. They'll listen, adjust, grow. And those who don't? Let them go. That's not cruelty. That's clarity. So the next time someone takes advantage, ask yourself, what have I taught them about my worth? If the answer is silence, people-pleasing, or overextension, it's not too late to rewrite that lesson. Start today. Pick one place in your life where you felt disrespected. And instead of shrinking, speak. Calmly. Clearly. Then hold your line. At first, it'll feel hard. But in time, your life will start to feel lighter because you're no longer carrying everyone's comfort on your back. You'll notice peace where chaos once lived. You'll notice clarity where resentment once brewed. And more than anything, you'll notice people begin treating you differently. Because now, you've shown them how. If this message stirred something in you, hold on to it. Don't just nod, act. Set that boundary. Reclaim that moment. You don't need to be loud. You just need to be clear. Respect begins with you. And once you start living that truth, you'll never have to beg for it again. If this message helped you pause and reflect, share it with someone who might need the same reminder. Your attention is powerful. Thanks for spending some of it here. And if you want more content like this, grounded, honest, and real, hit like, subscribe, and join the journey.